Hello and welcome back to tutorials on how to use Mastodon. This time we're going to talk about timelines. Timelines and feeds and following people on Mastodon and everything that might be helpful around that topic. So the central piece of Mastodon is actually the home feed. It's the first screen that you see when you log into Mastodon, and it's the place that we expect you to spend the most time. Unlike other contemporary platforms, the home feed on Mastodon consists only of things that you have chosen to include there, rather than any kind of guesses or suggestions based on learning about your behavior. Mastodon does not do that. So what we expect you to do instead is, whenever you find a profile that you enjoy, that you click follow to subscribe to their posts, or if you're more into following topics as a whole, that you follow specific hashtags. So one of the first things that you do when you sign up on Mastodon is you're shown a screen with suggested popular accounts, and you're expected to select a few ones at least to sort of get you started with Mastodon and have you a home feed that isn't completely empty. If you skip that, you will have a home feed that is just absolutely blank. And of course, that's not very fun and doesn't really provide a reason to return to Mastodon, so we don't want that. So we're going to talk about how to find content if your home feed is lacking. So if your home feed is lacking, there's actually a different feed on Mastodon that you can go to discover new content. And it is right under home on the right side of the screen. It's called trending. Once you click on that, you will see a list of posts that are popular on Mastodon right now. And now this list is personalized in one way, but not personalized in any other way. It is personalized to your language. So if your interface is set to English, you will only see posts that are in English. However, this is the same screen for everyone who has English selected. There is no topic or behavior-based personalization. So you see what the community on Mastodon is talking about, what they're sharing, what they're liking. The algorithm here is relatively simple. Whenever somebody shares or favorites a post, it goes higher on the list, and the older the post is, the lower it goes on the list. So the older a post is, the more favorites and boosts is the same as sharing, it needs to have to stay on top. That way, every time you look on the trending feed multiple times a day, you ideally see a changing and fresh content every time. So once you're on this page, you can scroll through and you'll see what's popular. And what you can do is you can hover over the profiles and you can just click. Well, on this one, I'm already following this person. So we can scroll through to here, hover over this profile and click follow. It is that easy. From then on, this person's posts will start appearing in your home feed. If you change your mind later, of course, you can unfollow just as easily as you followed. If you want to include more languages on your trending feed, you can go under Preferences, Other, and then you will see this giant list of every language supported by Mastodon, and check whichever ones you recognize and understand. For example, I also speak German, which is Deutsch, and Russian, and let's include Italian for good measure. Then you can click Save Changes, and when you go back to Mastodon and click on Trending, as you can see, it's changed quite a bit because now the top post is in German, 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 and so on. There's quite a lot of German stuff. And now that I'm thinking about it, it's because I didn't click on English in the list at all. So this is actually a way to override the interface language setting altogether. So by default, if you don't have any languages selected, it will use your interface language. But if you go and specifically select which languages you want, there's English, it will use those languages exclusively. So now we go back here. Yeah, now we're back. English is back on top, but somewhere down here there will be German and Italian. Anyhow, moving on. Once you have followed a couple of accounts, your home feed will be a bit more lively. But this isn't all that the trending feed has to offer. You can actually go on here and click on the hashtags tab and see what hashtags people are using today. The algorithm for what's showing up is similar to the one I've described for posts. It's just how many unique accounts are posting using these hashtags today. So for example, it's June 2nd already, where I am. The Pride Month has begun, so there are a lot of posts with the hashtag Pride. We're also quite close to Sunday, so this hashtag is still on the list, called Silent Sunday. It is a recurring trend on Mastodon where people post images that elicit a feeling of calmness, specifically on Sunday. So if you feel like you're interested in these hashtags, first of all, you can just browse them and you can use them to discover accounts that you may like and go and follow them, just the way that I showed with the trending feed. However, what you can also do is, if you want to receive every new post under that hashtag in your home feed, you can just click follow hashtag right here, and then every new post in that hashtag will appear in your home feed. Quite easy. And if you want to unfollow it later, you click on this menu and you have the unfollow button for the hashtag right here. You can just click it and it's gone. Back to the trending feed. There's actually a few more tabs here. The third tab is people, and these are follow recommendations. Now, this is the most personalized thing in Mastodon, as far as I remember, because these are based on a combination of 4 or 5 different algorithms for trying to figure out what to show you. One of these algorithms is just accounts that are popular, and every account has a little tag on top of it that shows you why it's being displayed. So this account is popular on mastodon.online. So this is why you're seeing it in this list. There's a different one called similar to profiles you recently followed. So it's looking for similar profiles by, let's say, description, by the bio text of the profile to the ones you've most recently followed and showing you similar ones. There's also popular among people you follow, which is one of the most useful algorithms for finding people, because if you're following like 3 people and they all among them follow another person, quite high likelihood that you also know that person, even if you're not following them yet, right? This is a way to discover, like, oh, this friend that is in our community has also joined Mastodon, and that's their profile. It's the most basic algorithm that has existed in friend recommendation systems on all sorts of social networks since time immemorial. Anyhow, if you don't like some account being recommended to you, you can just click this button and it will disappear from the list forever. Or you can follow accounts. I mean, ultimately you can just ignore this page if you don't find it useful. The last tab is called News, and kind of in a similar principle as hashtags and posts, this is showing you a feed of news stories that are being shared on Mastodon today or recently. So every public post that is linking to the same story on a website, like, you know, The Intercept or TechCrunch or ProPublica, it is counting those links as shares and showing them in this list. And the older the story is, the more shares it needs to stay on top, and so on and so forth, the way I have described it for the posts. And what you can actually do, you can click and you can read the story if that's what you're interested in. But you can also, you see a little pill here that says 1K posts, so 1,000 posts. You click this and you get a list of every post that is linking to the story. So you can actually read what people are writing about it, how they're commenting on it. And you can find people to follow through this, or just, interesting takes on stuff. You don't necessarily have to follow everyone that you meet. Although it is, especially when you're starting on Mastodon, it is a good idea to follow as many people as you can. Even if you end up unfollowing them later, this gives you the best chances of having a lively home feed that will, make Mastodon useful for you. Anyhow, there are a couple of other features that I want to talk about related to the home feed, to which we finally return. One of those features is controlling what you see in the feed. So whenever a profile that you follow shares a post by somebody else, which is called boosting, that post will appear in your home feed as well. If you find that this is not super useful to you, you can go on that person's profile. So you click, for example, here, this person boosted this post. You can click here, you can click on the 3 dots on the profile, and you can say, hide boosts in timeline. And if you click that, and you can always undo this, you can always bring it back to show boosts in timeline. But if you do this, whatever they're boosting will no longer show up on your home feed. You will only see their original posts, not what they're sharing. Okay, another thing that might be useful regarding timelines is once you follow lots and lots of people, you might find it difficult to keep up with your home feed. For that reason, we have a feature called lists. A list is a way to subdivide your home feed by a collection of accounts. So let me demonstrate. You can create a list. You can name it whatever you want. But let's say, for example, let's say animals, because I want to make a list of every person who's posting cats or dogs or whatever it is. The name is the only thing I really need to care about right now, but there are settings that you can use to control what shows up in that list timeline. For example, you can choose that every person you put into the list is then hidden from your home feed. So you can only view them through the list and not through both the list and the home feed. By default, this is disabled, so they will show up in both places. But if you want to clean up your home feed, you can move certain accounts out of it using this option. I'll leave it off for now because this is just a demonstration and it's not going to be a big list, and I'm not following a lot of people on this demo account anyway. But let's go ahead and create the list. I then have this screen where I can search for accounts. For example, I'm going to search for cats of an account that posts old photographs of cats, and I will add this account to the list. I'm not currently following that account, so it's prompting me to follow and then add to the list. You are required to follow accounts before you can add them to lists. So I click that, it's all in one click pretty much, and done, it's on the list. I can just click done, and here is my animals list. I mean, to be fair, for these demo purposes, this is literally just one account, so, not that useful. But in principle, you can put as many accounts as you want on this list. You can move them out of your home feed, and then whenever you want, you go in the home feed, and then whenever you want to look at your animals again, you just, you can expand this list of lists and click on animals, and then there you go. There you go. That's the most important aspects of following people and managing your follows on Mastodon. If there is something that I have not covered in this video that you want to receive an answer to, please feel free to comment below the video and I'll try to answer it in the comments. And see you later.